Okay, so here we are once again, and this will be another episode of Mathghamhain Morsels. Today I'm going to be making a Gorgonzola cream sauce. This Gorgonzola cream sauce is insanely easy, and this is going to be, I believe, episode 29, I forgot to say that. So, it's insanely easy. It's heavy cream, which you can see in the bottom left corner, is currently bubbling away on the stove. And that is a full quart of heavy cream. I'm making a rather large portion of this. Then it will be 3 to 4 ounces of a good Gorgonzola cheese. I'll be splitting this in half, since this is about 8 ounces of Gorgonzola. 3 tablespoons of freshly grated Parmesan. 3 tablespoons of minced parsley, again fresh. 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, and if you like pepper, then 3/4 of a teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper. So in order to make this, all you do is you put the heavy cream in a nice medium-sized saucepan, maybe a little bit larger depending on how much you're going to make, or a bit smaller if you're making a smaller portion. But a medium saucepan is a good size. And you want to put it on a medium to medium-high heat. You want to get it to boil rapidly. And you're going to let it continue to boil for almost about 45 to 50 minutes. Until you get a thickened white sauce consistency. And you want to stir it every so often so that it doesn't end up boiling over. Speaking of, I'm going to quickly pop into the kitchen to stir that up. So you want to get a thick white sauce consistency. So you want it to rather nicely coat a spoon. Then you'll be taking it off the heat, and you'll crumble in your 4 ounces of Gorgonzola, and add in your Parmesan, parsley, salt, and pepper if you want pepper. And stir until it is a nice creamy consistency. All the cheese has melted in. And it just tastes amazing on any good piece of beef. The stronger the flavor of the beef that you're using. So I'm going to be pouring it over an eye round, which tastes fantastic. And again, like I said, you want to use a good Gorgonzola and a good Parmesan. The better quality of the cheese, the better quality the sauce is going to turn out to be. And the salt is a kosher salt. Not sure if I mentioned that. This is absolutely delicious. Ridiculously simple. It only gets a little bit annoying if you want to heat it up, because if you heat it up too quickly, it breaks really easily. So what I do is I'll heat it up on low. Let it melt, because it congeals quite a lot due to the amount of cheese and due to how thick the cream gets. You let it melt slowly. It'll start to kind of break, but once it's all melted down, you just whisk it nice and fast, and it'll come right back together. Or if you have a method that allows you to heat it up a bit slower, such as if you have a sous vide machine, once it's congealed, you just stick it into a bag and stick it in a sous vide machine at a good 130 degrees, and you just let it very gradually come up to temperature, and that'll keep it from breaking like it does when it's heated up too quickly. It's absolutely delicious, though. I recommend it on any good bit of beef. I'm making a rather large amount of it because I have high round for this week, and it's absolutely fantastic. But if you're feeding an entire family on a nice roast, you can make this quantity. If you're making it for yourself, then I would cut it down by at least half to a quarter. Let me quickly whisk up my cream again. Okay. So this has thickened up nicely. It's a good white sauce. It'll thicken up some more as I add the cheese, because the cheese will, of course, give it a bit more body. So there goes my 3 tablespoons of parsley and my 3 tablespoons of that absolutely delicious Parmesan. Then you want to get chunks of your Gorgonzola. I'm using a bit of a creamy Gorgonzola. You can use a more crumbly Gorgonzola if you want. But you just want to add little chunks of it at a time. If you add too much or too big of a piece, then you'll have problems getting it to come together properly. And you just want to keep mixing it as you go, because the cream should be plenty hot to keep this melting nicely and allow all those flavors to really blend together. So just keep on mixing and adding your cheese a little bit at a time with this Gorgonzola in nice little chunks. This Gorgonzola goes amazing with crackers as well. So, like I said, I'm only going to be using about half, maybe a little bit more, if I decide to go for a heavier Gorgonzola sauce. But anything that remains, I can throw onto some crackers. And you remember those... Here, let me take this back so it's just my desk being shown rather than my desk in my kitchen. You remember those absolutely amazing roasted grapes? This goes really well with those. Just adds a fantastic little burst of earthy flavor. So just keep on stirring. And you want to serve this warm, not hot, but warm. That way it'll be the right consistency when it's poured over your meat. Because you want it to have a good bit of body to it. That's why you reduce the cream as much as you do. And you can see the parsley and some of that blue cheese that hasn't quite melted down all the way, sticking to my whisk as I pull it up. another few chunks of this in. You don't want to go all the way back to the rind with this sauce. So I'll leave enough room that I still have some good cheese before I get to the rind. But that just ends up being a bit too much to melt down properly. At least in this application. You can also use blue cheese for an amazing blue cheeseburger. And it just tastes delicious. So I still have some chunks, as you can see, when I raise up my whisk. You just keep stirring until all the chunks are gone. And like I said, this should have plenty of heat in it to melt down all the cheese. The smaller the chunks you throw in, the easier it is for the sauce to come together. And the quicker it melts down in. But this will be fantastic. So I'll come back and show you guys what this sauce looks like when it's all come together. And I spoon it over my beef roast that I'm going to be eating with it. And it'll be fantastic. See you guys in a little bit. Okay, so here we go. I also did some roasted mushrooms. They work wonderfully with this beef and gorgonzola cream sauce combination. So let me give it a first taste with one of the mushrooms. The earthiness of the mushroom with that creamy, earthy kind of funkiness of the gorgonzola cream. Oh god, it's an amazing combination. So, I did the eye round, medium rare. I just sous vide the eye round up to temperature. This is seasoned somewhat simply, at least by my standards. I have some older smoked salt, a bit of red alile, and a new ingredient that I found, which is just some hickory smoke powder on this, just to give it a nice smokiness. So, This is absolutely delicious. As it is every time I have this gorgonzola cream sauce. Just plays off of the beef amazingly. The savory, umami deliciousness of beef. With that earthy funkiness. And slight bit of saltiness from the cream sauce and that almost buttery, creamy taste to it. Just goes amazingly. So, this recipe was a little bit different. Because if you noticed, I actually had measurements. As weird as that is. That's because this video, just like some of the Simple Comforts videos, is a recipe that I actually picked up somewhere else, and not just something that I made up randomly. But it's stuck with me, and it's just damn good flavors. So I keep on using it, and I keep on going back to that recipe. I've doctored it up every now and then. I'll add more cheese, I'll change out some of the flavors. Mm. And it's just absolutely delicious. Well, I'll continue chowing down on this, but I'll let you guys go rather than just taunting you by eating more of it in front of you. But I'll leave you off with my standard: try new things, try new flavors, try new flavor combinations, even if they're things that you've had before. Try making this Gorgonzola sauce, see if you like it. Try it with different cheeses. I did this with a Valdion rather than a Gorgonzola a couple times, and oh my god, the flavors of that, absolutely amazing. Just mix and match and have fun. Explore food, explore flavors, come up with new combinations. Enjoy yourself. Life's too short not to. So, with that, have a good one all.